Hey y'all, what's up? I'm here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 9, episode 7. Okay, so we started off with Phaedra and Portia. Portia showing up to, give Phaedra a break because she's been going through a lot. Give her a break from the kids and everything. Once again, as Portia comes up, Aiden is playing behind the door with her or whatever, this, that, and the third. Um, Portia is pretty much using the boys as practice or whatever, for when she has her own kids and everything, blase, blase. And, she's, with, Phaedra, she leaves. And, Portia, she's trying to put the toys together for them. And they start being some badasses. Little Dylan and Aiden or whatever. They're fighting each other and all this other stuff. And Portia is like, you guys, violence is not the answer. And I had to hit the conceited face on her like, y'all know conceited from Wild and Out. They be using his face for memes and shit now when he be like this. That's how I was looking at her when she said that shit. But anyway, so she's trying to get the bed clothes, their bed clothes on them, and Aiden, he's telling her, it's no need to negotiate with me because those clothes those pajamas don't even fit or something like that. I was like, oh, badass motherfucker. And then Lil Dylan, he was, she had told him, you gotta trust me or whatever, this, that, and third. And Dylan was like, well, I don't trust you. I was like, man. I'm just saying. I had to get a little sippy sip on that tea. But, but anyway, so, she's telling them like a bedtime story and everything. And finally gets them to go to sleep. Phaedra comes back. And, Portia realizes that, you have to outsmart these kids. Which is true. And, whatever. I have nieces and nephews. So, I understand or whatever. So, yeah, you do have to outsmart these kids. These kids nowadays, they are very smart. And they will try to put a fast one on you. So, she realizes that she does need a man to help her raise kids. She don't know what the fuck she was thinking beforehand. She talks about Todd and how, her Todd, and how they're just taking things slow and blase, blase. So, moving on from that, we get to Sheree. Her son is, doing a photo shoot. He's interested in modeling now. And, Sheree is going to be the momager of him and everything. And she's, as he's doing his photo shoot, he got his shirt off or whatever. And, she's like, he got the V like me, the little V line or whatever. She was like, I got it too. I was like, girl. And then Bob with his big hefty bag ass shows up. And he's like, oh my God, what is going on here? He takes, his, collared shirt off or whatever to cover Cairo up and everything. He's like, what y'all got my son up in here doing and all this other stuff? He was like, first they're gonna have you naked. Next thing you know, you're gonna be doing sex tapes and all this other stuff. And Bob was like, remember when you first met me and everything? And Sheree was like, you did not look like that, okay? And everybody in the room was laughing when she said that shit. And yeah, that pretty much was it or whatever with that scene. So next we get Kenya. She's on the phone with her dad, her shady ass father. And he's asking about Matt or whatever. Kenya, she tells him, about what happened and the whole, him breaking the window and everything. And she keeps on saying that he's a great person and all this other stuff and blase, blase. And her father wants to come see her, ASAP and everything. She doesn't tell him on the phone about the window situation, though. As a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, she doesn't tell him about the window situation. She tells him about everything else except for that. Had to think about that. But anyway, so next we get Cynthia and Noel. They're, walking and everything and talking. Next thing you know, they get a call from the real estate agent, and the offer that Cynthia made on the house that they went to, go look at or whatever, was accepted and everything. And, her and Noel, they're very excited and everything, this, that, and the third. And Cynthia, she had to double check to make sure, it went through, like, for real, like, no backseat. She was like, are you for real, child? Like, are you sure, once it's accepted, that's it, no backseats or nothing like that. But it was cute, though. I'm very glad that she got the house and everything. That was a really nice house. Really, really nice house. So, I'm glad for Cynthia on that. Or whatever. So, moving on from that, we get Candy and her petty crew gang or whatever at the candy factory. Her phone rings and it's Phaedra's assistant calling to tell, Candy that Phaedra wants to meet for dinner or whatever. And and Candy, she's like, okay, whatever, whatever. And so, as soon as she gets off the phone with Phaedra, they like, Phaedra's assistant, they're like, what's all that? What was that about? Or whatever, this, that, and the third. And Candy is like that, when they're around the group or whatever, they're cordial and everything. But outside of that, they don't speak at all, and Don Juan, he brings up the bomb threat. He was like, maybe she wants to talk to you about the bomb threat or whatever. They making jokes the whole time and everything. Candy tells them about how Phaedra came to like the taste testing thing that she had or whatever, and she tells them what Phaedra had said in regards to the bomb threat or whatever. When Phaedra said that he wasn't trying to come blow her, the dude Drama wasn't trying to come blow her up. He was just trying to, give her his CDs and everything. And they all looking like, what? You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I'm like the other YouTubers. Like, the story did sound kind of shady and everything. Because remember I said to you guys last week, we in 2016, motherfuckers don't know the difference between, like, they don't know the difference between saying something is the bomb or whatever and the actual bomb. But like I said, I was like, okay, y'all see I didn't speak too much on it when I talked about it last week. But yeah, the story does sound kind of shifty. But, Carmen, she's like, what? That's a lie or whatever, this, that, and the third. And, Candy is like that Phaedra should be on that show, How to Get Away with Murder, because she can come up with a good story and everything. Blase, blase. And like I told you guys last week, I'm kind of like the other YouTubers now. Like, part of the reason why Candy and Phaedra can't get their friendship back on track is because of the simple fact that, Candy allows her, her friends and her mama to talk mad trash about Phaedra, behind her back and all this other stuff. So when Phaedra sees that shit play back, it's just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so meanwhile, over in Phaedra's office, Drama's mama comes to see her and everything, and Phaedra, she knows that it was a misunderstanding or whatever with the whole Drama situation, and she's pissed off because she's like, somebody in my circle just likes to take things and have the wrong information or whatever, and she's talking about Mama Joyce, and they flash back to what Mama Joyce had said to her at the taste testing thing or whatever. Phaedra, she wishes that Candy would have said something to her mama or whatever. And so we get back to Candy or whatever. Candy tells them what Mama Joyce said to Phaedra and all this other stuff, and they like, what? She said it to her, and Candy is like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and third. And Candy is telling them about how one of her friends saw Phaedra, and seeing that Phaedra had a bodyguard, and it's like pretty much she's saying that on one hand, Phaedra acting like she not scared or whether she wasn't scared or whatever, this, that, and the third. But on the other hand, now you got this bodyguard or whatever. So which one is it? You know what I'm saying? And they talking, Don Juan with his dumb ass gonna sit up here and talk about it probably was Mr. Chocolate or something like that. And Candy was like, no, it's not him. I know what he looked like and this, that, and the third. And Candy pretty much feels like that the friendship is over with. She's cool with how her and Phaedra is now, whatever. And Todd, he gonna sit up here and talk about something. What if Phaedra calls the bomber to the dinner or whatever? I said, I can't. So, anyways, moving on from that, we get Portia and her Todd. They're meeting with her family for dinner and everything. At first, it's kind of a little bit awkward. He's kind of shy and nervous or whatever. And, Portia's brother asks, how long they've been dating. And he's like, the first time, you know, and they looking confused, like, huh? You know what I'm saying? And so Portia, she's like, well, we dated from however long she said. I think it was about like 3 years that she had, 3 or 4 years she said that they had dated or whatever. And she felt like she was kind of immature at the time or whatever, this, that, and the third. And I think Todd was saying like around that time he had just got a relationship or something when he met Portia and blase, and you know, he has two teen sons or whatever, and you know, they're asking him. Portia's sister Lauren is asking him, do he think he would want to have, you know, more kids now that he, you know, considering the fact that he has two kids that's almost grown, and you know, he hesitated at first or whatever, and he was like, you know, under the right circumstances and everything, this, that, and the third. And you know, Portia is like this. She's not gonna make a big deal about him hesitating and everything. She's just gonna go with his flow or whatever, and you know, whatever. And you know, he lets them know that his intentions are good, and you know, all that good shit. You know, and he's holding Portia's hand as he's saying this stuff, and he's saying how much he loves her in front of them, and you know, he kisses her and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, that Todd dude is, like, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. Portia, you better, I hope that shit do kind of work out between y'all, but I mean, I don't know, but we gonna see, because, yeah, he's cute. So anyways, moving on from that, we get back to Kenya. Her dad, you know, is with her. They're pulling up at the house and everything, and her dad is shading the house or whatever. He's like, oh, it looks nice or whatever from what the last time I saw it. And you know, he sees the glass broken as they pull up in the driveway, and he's like, you know, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, Matt did this or whatever. Kenya didn't want her father to, you know, see. She didn't want her father to see that or whatever, but you know, he was going to see it, you know. But anyway, so they walk into the house or whatever, and he's looking around. He was like, oh, the house don't look like a piece of shit no more and everything. I was just like, and Kenya probably just so used to it now, because she didn't even say nothing to him when he said that. So anyways, you know, he's asking, you know, what can you cook or whatever, like trying to play her like as if she can't cook and shit. And she's like, you know, she's telling him, you know, what she can whip up real quick or whatever. She's like, you know, Matt used to come over like to my house like 5 days a week just for me to cook and all this other stuff. And you know, she's telling him about how Matt loves her and all this other stuff is just his anger sometimes. Her dad is like, he doesn't understand how Matt loves her and everything when he did what he did to her window. And you know, Kenya, she's still making excuses for him, and you know, her dad is telling her that Matt needs help and all this other stuff, and you know, he wants to talk to Matt and everything. And you know, Kenya is sitting up here, hold on y'all, sorry, but yeah, Kenya's sitting up here talking about his potential and all this other stuff. And let me tell you, Kenya, you too old for all this potential bullshit that you talking. Like, you know what I'm saying? All that potential bullshit that you saying, that's for bitches my motherfucking age. And even I'm not on that shit no more. I was, you know, on that whole, oh, he has potential bullshit at one point in time too. But it's like, you know, it's only so much you can sit up here and put up with and deal with. All that potential bullshit is some bullshit, okay? Like, so you can miss me with that for real. Like, you too old for all that potential stuff. Even if either the motherfucker got it or he don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, I was on the whole potential bullshit at one point in time too with the motherfucker, and I had to realize, like, if he don't see the potential in himself to do better, then what the fuck am I still staying around for? And he gonna keep on hurting me and doing the stuff that he's doing to me or whatever. You know, I was never in a domestic violence situation. Let me just throw that out there, you know, because yeah. But you know, as far as like the cheating and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, I, you know, sitting up here like making excuses. Oh, because he's still in his 20s. Da da da. This, I mean, yeah, he was still in his 20s, but the motherfucker was still older than me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, motherfuckers, when they get to a certain age, they know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, definitely with Kenya, you two, like you 40 something years old, you too old to be talking about all this potential bullshit. You need to find you a motherfucker that either they got it or they don't. I mean, you need to find you a motherfucker that has it. And if they don't have it, you need to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And Matt, he's old enough to know fucking better too. He damn near 30. Like, I mean, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she can miss me with all that potential bullshit. Like, girl, please. But anyways, I'm sorry. Let me, get off my preaching stuff. But anyway, so Sheree, she meets with Cynthia to talk about her son or whatever. And she has big dreams for Cairo and all this other stuff. Cynthia, she's checking him out like, oh, okay, last time I seen you, you was still little and all this other stuff. Sheree telling her to calm the fuck down, you know what I'm saying? And Cynthia, she's telling her about the whole situation, giving her an update with her and Peter and all this other stuff. Cynthia, she had a conversation years ago with Sheree about Cairo modeling, but at the time he wasn't interested, but now he is. And, Cynthia is looking at his portfolio or whatever. He's only done 2 photo shoots so far. And she's looking at some of the pictures. She was like, oh, you come off a little bit shy and everything. And he was like, I wasn't or whatever. And she was like, okay, well, that's good and everything. And then she tells him to pull his shirt up or whatever. And she looking like, okay, and, Cynthia, oh, I'm sorry. No, Sheree was saying that she wants him to be a part of New York Fashion Week and all this other stuff. And I had the same look on my face that Cynthia had, like, dumbfounded, like, bitch, what? You know what I'm saying? And Cynthia tells her that, New York Fashion Week is at the top of the bar. Like, it's, way up there. It's like on Super Bowl status and all this other stuff. And she's telling Sheree that he has to start off small and everything and work his way up to the top. And Cynthia's like, I'm the model expert here, let me handle it. This is my lane. And Sheree is sitting up here saying, I'm not going to teach my kids to think small, this, that, and the third. I want him to think big or whatever, this, that. It's like, it's not about that, Sheree. And see, that's your problem now. And that's probably why it took you so fucking long to build your house, because you was thinking big or whatever instead of thinking realistically and thinking about the bigger picture. You feel what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with this Cairo situation. Like, it takes more to be a model than just taking some, banging ass pictures. You have to have the runway walk too. And you should be glad that your friend that has experience in the modeling business is telling you and is trying to, have your son take the baby steps or whatever instead of just throwing him out there. And then he end up looking stupid. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah. Like, come on. I felt Cynthia on that. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, so anyways, moving on from that, we get Kenya again. She's with her dad in the cigar shop. They're waiting on Matt and everything to show up because he's supposed to be meeting them there. The dad is getting impatient because 30 minutes done passed or whatever. And next thing you know, Kenya, she looks at her phone and was like, he sent 17 messages saying that he's not coming and all this other stuff. The dad decides, he wants to talk to him on the phone because he's trying to figure out what the fuck the problem is. So they get him on the phone. The dad is asking, are you still coming and all this other stuff? And, Matt is like, I wanted to come, but, I've been manipulated several times, this, that, and the third. And, Kenya's dad asks about, the window. Like, what's that about? Whatever. And he's like, honestly, sir, I'd rather talk to you about that in person. I don't want to talk to you about that over the phone, this, that, and the third. And he wants Kenya to apologize for the stuff that she's done and everything, this, that, and the third. And, she's like, apologize for what? And, the dad is like, yo, tell him, to calm down or whatever. Like, his tone is very abrasive and everything, this, that, and the third. And so, Kenya repeats what her dad says, and then Matt hangs up or whatever. Like that, Kenya girl, that should just show. All the other signs should have been shown you that this motherfucker wasn't the one. But for him to do that in front of your dad in front of your dad though, son. Like, come on. Like, you shouldn't. Like, you definitely should know. Okay, like, you know, if he could sit up here and be that damn disrespectful while your father is literally listening to y'all conversation, like, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so Matt ends up showing up or whatever. Pretty sure because Bravo made him. The dad, he explains his issues with Matt and everything. And he's saying, you know, Matt, you wouldn't want the females in your life to go through, you know, this stuff or whatever. So that's how I feel about my daughter and everything. And you know, Kenya, she pretty much wants them to communicate better, this, that, and the third. And you know, he agrees and all this other stuff. And there was some other stuff that she had said. He agrees with what she's saying, but he's like, he shouldn't, you know, come to her house and, you know, and do all this work or whatever, this, that, and the third, if, you know, we're not going to deal with each other anymore. And, you know, Kenya is saying, I'm not calling you to work on my house or whatever. I'm calling you to clean up the mess that you made or whatever, this, that, and the third. And, you know, Kenya, she's saying she has zero tolerance for the BS. And you say that, Kenya, but you still keep on putting up with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, yeah, like, you know, like I said before, you know, that post that Matt made, I do agree with the stuff that he saying. Kenya is manipulative and, you know, fundamentally deceptive. That was the shit I was trying to think of last week. He said that shit, and I couldn't write it down quick enough, and because that shit just caught me off guard. Because I'm like, Matt, this is coming from Matt out of all people. Who gave him that term to use? Okay, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's like I think we all can agree, or most of us can agree on the fact that Kenya do be on some bullshit and do be trying to like sit up here. She does shit and then try to act like, you know, she don't know what she did to make a person do the stuff that they do. And like, once again, not saying the shit that Matt is doing is right at all, because it's not. It's not. You know what I'm saying? And they just need to leave each other the fuck alone. But anyway, so, you know, Matt is saying that, you know, Kenya needs to own up to her issues and her flaws or whatever. And, you know, Kenya is like that. She apologizes, then he'll bring it up again an hour later, and he says, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do, but that's because I feel like the apology doesn't be sincere and all this other stuff. And Kenya, she's like, she wants to feel safe and yada yada yada, blase blase. And you know, Kenya's over the conversation, so she gets up, they all get up and leave it at that. So finally we get to the sit down with Phaedra and Candy. You know, they're meeting for lunch, dinner, whatever it is. And it's awkward or whatever. And they really didn't talk to each other until the waitress came over to place their order and everything. Phaedra, she brings up what Mama Joyce had said at the taste testing or whatever. Candy, here we go with the bullshit. She feeling like once again somebody coming for her mama. So your mama could sit up here and come for everybody else, but can't nobody sit up here and come to you when your mother has made them feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, I noticed some of the YouTubers, they had said that, you know, Candy can control her mama, and they used the example of how when she was on the phone with Block and her mama was in the background talking her shit or whatever, she told her mama to, you know, simmer down and everything, and her mama listened. And then just last week, when, you know, her mama tried to be on some slick shit and pulled Phaedra to the side or whatever, she grabbed her mama then, and her mama cooperated. So yeah, Candy, you do know how to control your mama. You don't care to be friends with Phaedra no more. That's what it is. And just, I mean, well, you said it to, you know, Don Juan and them, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't sit up here and try to, you know, act like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how to control your mama, because you do. So, you can miss me with that bullshit, okay? Because, yeah, they pulled your motherfucking car. But, anyways, Candy is like, I mean, my mama just saying what was said on the news and everything. But it's like, okay, yeah, it was on the news in Atlanta or whatever, but you know damn well the way your mama was coming at Phaedra, she was coming at her on some, you know, real shady shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know how your mama feel about Phaedra. So, I mean, come on. So, you know, Candy brings up the fact that Phaedra has the bodyguards or whatever. Phaedra is like that, you know, her parents got the bodyguards for her and all this other stuff. And Candy feels like Phaedra always has something to say behind her back. And Phaedra's like, well, shit, you always saying shit about me, too. You know what I'm saying? And Candy feels like that the shit that she says is the truth or whatever, this, that, and the third. And Phaedra is like, I mean, okay, well, we both feel like the shit that we saying that we say about each other is going to be the truth, this, that, and the third. And Candy just like, no, the shit that you say is some bullshit. Regardless of whether you feel like Phaedra is saying some bullshit or not, or whether the shit that you saying is the truth, whether the shit that she's saying is the truth, y'all both had said shit about each other that was not in the best light. And those of y'all who've been watching me for a while, for a long time, y'all know last season I got on Phaedra's ass for saying what she said about Todd or whatever. That was some fuck shit. But Phaedra really has not said nothing about Candy all this season, and now Candy, you looking real bad now. And I see why people are starting to feel the way that they feel about you, because, I mean, this shit is ridiculous. And they just start, pretty much, continuing, bringing up old shit or whatever. Candy is like, you wasn't even crying about your husband for real, but you sitting up here crying over our friendship. Like, you was, talking to other people before, your husband got locked up and everything, and you was counting down the days on your divorce and all this other stuff, and how you was planning on marrying somebody by the new year. And Phaedra's like, well, maybe I loved you more than I loved my husband, and all this other stuff. And Candy, she's just laughing at this point. She thinks the shit is a joke. And yeah, she's saying stuff in the confessionals and everything, and she keeps on making excuses for Mama Joyce or whatever. And, Candy, she's satisfied with how things are between her and Phaedra at this point or whatever, and they wish each other nothing but the best. Candy gets up and walks away. Now, here's my thing, and that pretty much was the episode, but here's my thing, too, on this whole shit with their friendship. I'm letting you know right now, at this point, if you still holding your breath on them two being friends again, you might as well just let the motherfucking air out, because that shit is not gonna happen, okay? And the way I see it, the only way these motherfuckers is gonna be friends again is if one of them get off this show. One of them is gonna have to get off this show. The same, just like how Kim Zolciak got off the show or whatever, her and Nene became cool again. Just like how, Nene got off the show, or, she became a part-time, cast member on the show. Her and Cynthia became friends again, and then we see her and Sheree start getting along again, whatever. So yeah, it seemed like that's kind of like a pattern with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So yeah, I feel like the only way these two are going to be friends is if one of them get off this show or be a part-time cast member or something. The only way they could it's a possibility of them being friends again. But, yeah, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. I'm so sorry this review is so long, but I hope you guys enjoyed it and watched all the way through. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.